Hello and welcome. We are going to talk all about past lives and your fears and how they're intertwined. So let's get into it. Hello and welcome to the Power of Healing Your Energy show. This is episode 49. And this is all about healing your past life fears. And welcome, everyone. Yes, this is a new time. Just thought I'd, switch it up. And, it's in celebration of Canada Day. Hello. Happy Canada Day to you fellow Canadians. I am one, if you do not know. Anyways, it's a 153rd birthday. So, yes, true north, strong, and free. We all are we not? And if this is your first time here, say hello. Let us know where you're from and how you found me and how you found us. And I'm always looking for new guests, new topics. So let me know. If there's someone, you think is just amazing and would be great on the show, because this show is all about your unconditional love, your healing, and, empaths, old souls. I know you're out there, and light workers, right? So we're all working together to help each other. We're here for love and forgiveness, and we are all making our way home. And especially now with everything that's going on, we need to share and collaborate with each other. There is no competition. And there is, we are here to work together. And I just want to give a shout out as well. It is my youngest boy's birthday, Connor. On this day, he was born at 4:15 p.m. We were supposed to go to a Canada Day parade in Canmore, and he had other plans. That's his first birthday. And then this is current. He is 22. So yay. Shout out to him. I'm sure he's going to be embarrassed, but hey, that's what us moms do. So, and let me know if you got a birthday coming up in July. Let's celebrate together. All about the, that Cancer energy, right? We talk about retrogrades all the time. We've got so much coming up, going on. And yes, this is the power of your past lives, because many of my clients have been having this conversation. Even, some of the colleagues I speak to, a lot of stuff coming up, déjà vu. There's a reason for it, because it's happened in a past life. But we don't want to get too fixated on knowing every single past life that we have been through. I mean, that's, crossing over to obsession. So let's just try to have a balanced approach. If you're curious, obviously, look into the Akashic records. In many of the healings and readings that I do, past lives comes up. So, and if you do, you have a remembrance of something, or something triggers you, or you've met somebody and you're like, I know this person, or I've known them forever. There's a reason for it. And retrogrades are about going back. So especially with Mercury and the communication piece, if you're having to redo, rethink, revisit, reevaluate, or you're seeing things keep popping up, there's a reason, right? It has nothing to be afraid of. It's just about getting it, doing it right the first time. How about that? So just going to see who is here saying hello. Hi, Kirath. Greetings to you in South Africa. Thank you so much for joining. I'm just curious if maybe this is a better time for everyone as well at 1 o'clock. I don't know the time difference out in South Africa. Obviously, it's got to be at least 18 hours, because I do have some friends in Australia. So let me know if I'm right, if I'm wrong. It's all good. And yes, happy Canada Day. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Please share this out. So we're just going to jump right into it. I'm going to find my banner here. And yeah, I mean, it's all about, there tend to be about 10 past life fears just from, speaking with clients and doing readings over the years, and even, deep diving into my own. It's all about recognizing them, acknowledging them, releasing them, and healing them, and working with that energy as much as possible. So I'm just going to show you one slide. I've got a couple, but you know what? I'm actually going to be doing a webinar where we're going to deep dive into this further. We're actually going to do a past lives meditation, and guided. So you'll all be going through with myself and really tapping in to a past life. It's pretty powerful. And it's good for clearing karma. That's what we're here for. We're here for relationships. And if you're not good with yourself, how can you be good with anyone else? And finding, that unconditional love that's always been there. It's always there. It always has been there. Somehow we just, gotten away from it at some point. So, all right. It's 9 p.m. in South Africa. Thank you. Thank you for confirming that. I appreciate it. All right. So we're just going to get into the first one here. And yes, I like to use slides. I'm not going to get carried away with them. But yeah. So fear number one is fear of authority. So I don't know if anybody here, I know I did growing up. I like to get in a little bit of trouble because either, in a past life, you were either abused by authority, you've had run-ins with authority, right? I don't know anybody else like police or bosses or even family members. I mean, it touches on all bases. It's something that you really should check into. Maybe you're suspicious and cynical of everything and everyone. That is a past life fear, okay? And it comes through as anxiety. So this makes so much sense why we as a collective have so much anxiety. We have so much anxiety. It is palpable. And then the depression piece, because we have not been acknowledging who we are and why we're here, right? And, we're here to heal. We're here to heal others. We're here to share. We're here to raise the vibrations. So maybe you have trouble owning a business as well. And then having to deal with bankers. And I'm like, bankers, okay. I thought that was interesting. So I don't know if any of this resonates. If you have any questions, let me know either way. I'm just posting a video here, trying to multitask. I feel like I need an assistant sometimes, so that might be coming up in the future. Yeah, definitely. So, so you might have been abused by authority, and then when you've had run-ins with authority, as an old soul, it makes you suspicious or cynical. So we see through those people that are lining their pockets, the people that don't care, especially now what we're seeing politically, just across all fields of religion, science, and politics, not being able to ask for a raise or raise a concern with others. So, and if you have any issues, I'm going to switch this. If you have any issues with your throat, around the throat area, the throat chakra, sometimes that is linked to being hung in a past life. Or maybe your throat swells up. You have a fear of speaking, neighbors gossiping. You don't want to talk to your neighbors because there's a lot of gossip. So you just try to avoid all of that. I understand. I know all about it. Now, fear number two, we're going to move on because I'm, half hour. it's going to be pretty quick here. So fear of loss. Lost everything near and dear to you, children, family, home, and your way of life. This fear of loss is highly tied to a wartime past life. Now, and we have many, many past lives. Fear of loss that recognizes you can't really trust what will or will not happen. And many triggers come through as a parent, children, spouse. You tend to go into a place of isolation or become reclusive. You prefer not to be attached to items, past lives, homes being burned down. So this is a protective mechanism saying, oh, it's just a house. I can get another one. The less I have, the less I have to lose. So, and maybe you're continuously clearing out the clutter as well every 3 months, or you have a home that looks like no one lives there, or you're quite a minimalist. So it's easier for someone with a fear of loss to live simply than to have a lot of stuff. Yeah, this one, yeah, I can see bits in this one as well. So you might have all 10 of these, and that's perfectly fine. It's just good to acknowledge it, recognize it, release, and heal. And then you can move on. You'd be like, okay, I have a tendency to be reclusive, or I tend to push people away because I don't want to get too close because you might lose them or lose items, right? Okay, so I only brought up a couple slides. Like I said, you guys are going to have to tune in at the end. I'll be posting on Facebook. Head to my Facebook page for the webinar, and it's going to be on Zoom, and it's going to be an hour long. So then we're going to really deep dive into this. So head on over to 24 Karat Healing. Now, fear number 3 is fear of inferiority. Let's try and say that one quickly 10 times. So it's having a lifetime in which someone else has controlled you and you never got a chance to really exercise self-determination or follow your own life path. You were forced into a place of subservient behavior that wasn't part of your original life plan. So if you encounter a trigger, it can often be in form of tension or conflict in a relationship. And you immediately go back into that past life. It's like, you ever been in a situation where you're in an argument with somebody and you go into the victim role, and then you never really got the opportunity to learn how to exercise self-determination in a particular way. So it's like a, system powering. You become front and center, and you might recognize and compare yourself with others too. So, should have in my life, maybe there's a little bit of jealousy there too. You find the bigger the trigger, the stronger the pull, right? You're getting pulled in. So just recognize that you can make radical changes in your life right now by helping others, even yourself, overcome a fear of inferiority. It's the most satisfying thing because people start taking charge of their lives. There are no victims. I think right now with, COVID and everything that's going on, there's no more bypassing, no more spiritual bypassing. You have to actually look at things now. And I think that's why there's this huge wave of people that, I've been posting this stuff for years. And I'm sure there are people that, like Wayne Dyer, been posting for so many years, 50 years, maybe even longer, centuries. And many of us are just waking up, and that's fine. This is great. Oh, geez. Hi, Graham. And thank you for joining. I just caught the comment there, and sending out lots of love to you in Scotland there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my brother. Graham is a poetry, what are we going to call him, a guru? He's the guy to go to for poetry. So I actually started tapping into my poetry a little more, and I used to do it a lot. And then when I came through Edenshire, through Michael Murdad, that's how I met Graham and so many other beautiful souls. Thank you so much. Fear number 4 is betrayal. So, you maybe in some type of court of law, betrayal of trust from others. You were You were not treated fairly, so our soul tends to overreact. And a common tendency or symptom is to cut others out of your life. 3 strikes, most people think 3 strikes, you're out, right? Well, we'll give them another chance to be a little more trusting. But a lot of them are like, nope, one strike and you're out of my life. Maybe they were falsely accused of theft in a past life and executed, heavily influenced. So you're like on a hair trigger with injustice. So if you get sucked into stuff on social media and you're just angry and it triggers you, or someone that's being, there's an injustice happening, you just go overboard like it's happening to you. You get so upset and defend that person. So you take something from a molehill to a volcano aspect, especially. But then there's the other side of it, like acting like nothing bothers you. If someone betrays you, like if somebody asks you, let's say, for example, if your spouse cheated on you, you're like, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I don't know how I would react. And then when it does happen, you're chasing them. You went ballistic. You chased them out of the house with a knife. I mean, it's that extreme polarization. And then it takes many, many years to get over it. So watch that fear of betrayal, fear of failure. I see tons of videos about failure. You're not. If you don't try, that's where you failed yourself. That's an injustice to yourself. So failing forward, just go and do it. Have fun. This is because of short, incomplete timelines. So maybe you were, only lived to the age of 5 or 16, and you did not get to complete your life plan or your soul's purpose or your intention. So you get anxiety that you're not going to get your soul's purpose, your contract completed in this lifetime. And it's an irrational fear because this has happened 2 or 3 times in succession in the last century. So if you're feeling that fire burning and you're like, I don't want to fail. I'm pushing so hard to the brink of exhaustion. I know all about it. I know that one too. So it's like the soul is saying, are we going to get through this and die again before I finish it? Or maybe you're in a holding pattern, but you should be doing something, but you just can't quite get there. It's like you're stuck. All right. Resistance to making major decisions, fear of what if it's the wrong thing, paralysis when making decisions. Or there's the opposite. You have such a curiosity for knowledge and education and life, and you take classes and you read a ton. You're just constantly learning and learning and learning. You have a preference for radio, nonfiction, Discovery Channel, National Geographic, fact-based information. So that is the fear of failure. Fear number 6, intimacy. There's 2 main causes to that. You've either fallen deep and in love with somebody and then lost them, or you're having unwanted intimacy in the form of sexual abuse or rape. And yeah, I'm going there because I see that a lot. It is coming up a lot. There is a lot of stuff that has been hidden. We're talking pedophiles, pedophilia, all of that. People don't want to talk about that. They want to talk about other things and having, riots. And I'm not even going to say what it is, but no one wants to talk about the children. What about the children? What about the injustices that are happening around the world? Right? So that fear of intimacy, you're going to go through terrible emotional wrenches, I guess. A lot of people don't want to get too attached, or they always feel they hold a small part of themselves back, not 100%. Funny, they will recognize it in their partner, but not in themselves. And sometimes they are the trigger. So it triggers the fear of intimacy within the partner. Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic. It's almost like it brings it up and then they bring it up in the other person because they don't want to look at their own intimacy issues. Yeah, that's a bit of bypassing as well. So I always picture two people in suits of armor rattling around. They never fully connect. Right? And that's kind of sad. That's why we're here. We're here to connect with each other, to love each other. So when problems arise, they put up walls and barriers for self-protection, and it'd be very hard for them to open up again. Very hard. So that's a manifestation of intimacy. They're just very warm and loving to strangers rather than their own nearest and dearest. That's interesting. So far more fear around this shift can create difficulties, or they use sex as a surrogate for intimacy. That's the other one, the other piece of it. So connecting with, your soul and your spirit guides is a very intimate part, and so is meditation. So some of us might have issues trying to meditate, or saying they can't open their third eye, or they don't know how to quiet things down, or they don't know how to connect with spirit. And you know what? Spirit is always available. It's right here in a holy instant. You have to go deeper and make that strong connection. And some, I don't know about you guys, some have issues with touch, being touched. So there might be a remembering, a resonance with a past life in regards to intimacy. Yeah, and Kirath is saying fail, first attempt in learning. I like that. That's a good analogy. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right, so let me know if any of these past lives resonate. If maybe at some point you're looking for a reading or a healing, feel free to reach out to me. And we'll connect further, and we'll do the deep dive, right? Fear number 7, self-expression. This, throat chakra definitely is coming up. People are either over extending what they want to say, or they're not saying anything at all. They don't know what to say. So, and this goes well to ever left a conversation where you felt you should have spoken up or said something. Or then maybe the opposite, you blurted out something really stupid and you're like, whoops. Or you have that invisible hand over the month. You never say anything. Like you're afraid. You're afraid to express your true opinions because it always seems to lead to terrible things in your mind. Or you express opinions that aren't yours as well. Several writers have this block. I think that's why they call it writer's block. It's a thing. So, or maybe somebody had read your diary or a letter or your personal thoughts. I mean, that's an intrusion, right? So of course you're like, I don't want to speak. And sometimes you never commit to putting pen to paper and just let the thoughts flow. No sense of, there's no sense of impending doom ever. And that's interesting about the journaling, because I ask my clients to do either dream journal, gratitude journal, just start writing things that you're grateful for, because, when you do that, it changes your whole biology, your whole energetic body. It's a cyclical thing, but I get resistance to that sometimes, either resistance to, I don't know how to meditate, I don't want to, or I don't like writing, or I've never tried that. I don't think it's going to work. So it's good to look at these things, because journaling is a powerful form of intuitive communication with your soul and with God, with all of it. You are so worth it. Why not try? And how do you do it? You just relax. You can do a mini meditation, or you can just ask the question, what does my soul need to know today? And just start writing. And you'll be amazed what comes out. True story. All right. Fear number 8 is powerlessness. Maybe you have been imprisoned or enslaved. The strong arm of the law comes down. You're locked up, no freedom. And they're basically controlling every aspect of your life. Or they don't want to be controlled. You don't want anyone telling you what to do. Well, I'm going to call it control freak symptoms, but it's on the other end, raising children with past life fears. And I know a few very challenging children, very defiant children, running away children, very argumentative and stubborn. I know a few already. So maybe you might have a very strong-willed child or grandchild that's like this. They might have a past life tied to powerlessness, because it's a thing. A lot of us, especially what's going on right now, feel powerless. We don't know what to do, where to start, what's going on, if we should make a move, if we should not make a move, if we should say something, if we should not say something. I say go with what feels good, gut-wise. Like check your gut, check your intuition. If you feel you're being pulled, recognize that and bring yourself back. If you feel you're being triggered, angered, whatever it is, that's a great time to start writing, journaling, finding out where that's coming from. Go into a creative aspect. Paint, play, sing, dance, whatever it is. Get out in nature. Do something for yourself to shift, because that's all it is. It's a shift in energy. It's a shift in mind. This, is very powerful, more powerful than you think. And for many of us, it's been running our lives. No more. It's a merge with the heart center, with the soul chakra, the heart chakra. That's where you lead from. And hi, Kimberly. Thank you for joining us. So nice to see you. And happy Canada Day. So the powerlessness, for a lot of people, they have to control the environment, controlling it. And they have a ton of anxiety if plans go astray or if things don't work out like they want it to. Get very anxious over that. And they can't seem to go with the flow very well. And you might recognize a very strong need for autonomy or freedom. So you just need all this space because you're exploring. Yeah. And if you've ever, and there is some stuff related to the dark as well. Issues with being in the dark is related to powerlessness. And just watch, there's other tendencies I'm not going to get into, but we want you to go from powerlessness to empowerment. Just like, starting out being an empath, I was like, those people, and I'm so sensitive and I'm an empath. I used all these labels because that's what I associated with, right? Now I'm empowered because I know the difference between empathy, apathy, and sympathy. So you want to be the empowered empath or sensitive or whatever you resonate with. Empowerment, is everything. Not being the victim, not blaming it on other people. Taking ownership of your body, your mind, your spirit. Because that's all that matters. It's all about love and forgiveness and healing. So you got to do the work. There's nowhere to hide. Nowhere. Fear number 9, death. Yeah, I'd say I had that, when I was younger, maybe in the past 20 years, but not lately, not for quite a few years. But apparently that's the number one fear in North America is death. And I see that as freedom, but that's just my opinion. I don't know how you guys see it, but that's how I see it. Fear of judgment. Fear of judgment, meaning in the form of public speaking. That's a big one. I hear that a lot, even for myself when I first started, like, I don't want to do a video. I don't know what to say. Oh, I'm going to be judged. I'm not worthy. Oh man. You just gotta try. Like Kira said about fail, first attempt in learning. And you just get back on and try again. Try again. Yes. So any traumatic death in a past life manifests in the present as phobias, public speaking, sickness, like hospitals, blood, anything related tied to that, holding on to weight, holding on to weight. So maybe you had cholera in a past life, or a wasting away disease, or there was really no food. So that's why you're holding on to weight, because it's like a, you're just protecting yourself. I get that. Fear of water, drowning, fear of flying, loss of control, being in enclosed spaces, public speaking, again. So maybe in the past you've been judged, and then somewhere there was death tied to that. You were judged for the color of your skin and race. So I think that's why we are seeing so much of this right now. There's this fear of death. Oh, this is a big one. Persecuted by a whole race, wars and genocide. I mean, this is all being front and center, thrown in our faces. In the trauma and in the heat of the battle, this old soul stopped fighting, and what he was doing and was against his soul's wishes. So I see that as an inner war more than anything, but there is still a past life. Maybe you were a soldier in a past life and you were caught and charged as a deserter, and then you were put to death and killed. So that life is sacred. How you feel about war and regression, we all have a right to live our lives to the fullest and not be interrupted by war and regression. The most traumatic recent deaths we hold so strongly to because we recognize the folly of war. It is the ultimate, when it comes to the soul being trapped. So I'd have to say that the fear of death is the biggest one out of the 10. Let me know if you agree with that. If not, you could pick one that you like, and you can always go back and go, oh, what was that one? What was the other one? Kira, closing one chapter, going to the next. Absolutely. I almost see it like a book. You just, what chapter are you writing today or this year, or what does your blueprint look like for your soul? And it's all about going back and doing the work and dreaming and playing and being creative and just being at peace and resting too. That there's something to say about that. And there's no more, you're resilient. You're not crushing it, meaning you're pushing yourself to the brink of exhaustion. You're resilient. There's a difference. Hi, Lindell. So nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Please share this out, and much appreciated. And the last fear is fear of rejection. Fear number 10. In this life or in a past life, the signs of abandonment issues, dumped by a partner, losing a job. So maybe you were rejected in the community some way. You were shunned or excommunicated. In the past, you were forced out of a community or even your family. That's a tough one. So this is the difference between life and death. So extreme cases of detachment are sometimes sociopathic behavior and narcissism. Here we go. When we talked about, being empaths and narcissists and not being the victim and not feeling powerlessness, there's the rejection piece where many of these narcissists, sociopaths have been rejected. I just made this connection today. Wow. Okay. So it manifests more as not wanting to be rejected and being, than being loved and accepted, not wanting to be part of groups, communities. It's a form of protection. To belong, to be part of a community creates a huge abandonment feeling, especially in kids. So sometimes you hear, maybe even in your pets too, that they have, they don't want you to leave the house, that they get very anxious, that they're very attached, that they have to go with you everywhere. You might want to investigate that as a past life. So kids have anxiety when they have that. It's called separation anxiety, right? With your pets too. And very sensitive, empaths, old souls wish they were rejected first before rejecting others. I was just like, okay, this is, I've been doing a lot of research on this. And we so desperately need to belong to groups and organizations. It's an inherent soul need. That's why we're here. And we have gotten so far away from it. That's why everything is polarizing. We're bringing this back. We're bringing this back, guys. We are bringing this back. No matter what you think, if you watch the news or the media, or, you get too involved in social media, then your vision, your perception is skewed. You really need to trust in your own authority, your own mind. You have good judgment. You have clear perception. So just ask yourself that, right? What are you being pulled into? So why heal these fears? It's a shift in consciousness, like the one we experienced 55,000 years ago from stage 2 to stage 3 consciousness. Look how long, well, I don't even want to go there. That would be my ego going, look how long it took us to get here. So we need creativity. We need love. We need all of us. We are all light workers. We need to think more metaphorically, symbols, language, tones, music, resonance, vibrations, energy. That's why I created this podcast and live show, because as I've said this before, I figured out my own. Boom, here we go. I figured it out. I want all of you to figure it out as well. It's important. It's important. So we're going to accelerate the process, connect with the soul's highest, a shift that will affect us, and it will flood through to other generations. And if you remove these fears, you can move up from a stage 4 to a 1 in a lifetime. So you're clearing. And this is for karma. This is for ancestors. I brought this up many times in my weekly empath energy update, clearing timelines. It's so important. This is what we need. So this is a way of re-experiencing a past life regression safely with the support of your spirit guides, releasing blocks, fears, and limiting beliefs to fully heal, and then share the gifts with others. That's it. That's it. That's why we're here, guys. Yes. Hi, Tabitha. More music and more healing tones. Funny, I say that and she pops in because she works a lot with healing energies and tones. Thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate you. I don't know if you have any questions for me. If this is, on the replay, please, ask away. I always ask if anybody, where they're from, first time replay, say hello. Share this out. If you are struggling, please let me know what tools you need from me. How can we help you collectively at this time? I have a lot of free resources on my website. I have a lot of free complimentary items, consultations through my Facebook page as well. And I just wanted to show you guys this. We've got a full moon coming up on Sunday. And there's an eclipse with that as well. Here we go again, right? So I'm going to be doing a full moon ritual readings and healings live Sunday, July 5th, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Facebook and YouTube. So head on over to either one, 24 Karat Healing. Subscribe on my YouTube channel if you prefer that. Go to Facebook if you prefer that. And sign up and get ready for that. As well, I will be having a 1 hour, probably be a little bit longer, but a webinar next week all about healing your past lives, going through a past life meditation. It's guided. I'll be bringing in some healing tones as well. We'll be clearing, all of the energy, and together you're going to do the guided meditation, and you're going to find out a past life. Maybe one, maybe two might pop up. And, this would be great. This is just a great way to start or to continue your healing journey. So, I'll be posting about that on Facebook. And yes, Tabitha, I do have a mailing list. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I do appreciate that. And here, you know what? I'm just going to pop my newsletter into the comments. And thanks, Tabitha, you're a beautiful soul, for reminding me, because I tend to forget sometimes. There's so many things going on. All right, so I popped it in there. It's one click through MailChimp. And you know what? I only send out maybe at the most 2 emails a month. So you don't have to worry about me emailing you every day. Okay? All right. Thank you, Tabitha. Thank you so much. Yes, lots of gratitude, blessings, and big hugs to you, Kirath in South Africa. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Tabitha. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Lindell. And anyone else that happens to join on the replay, I appreciate you guys so much. And again, let me know if you have any questions, any comments, anything that comes up. Otherwise, I am going to say, have a beautiful, amazing day. Sending so much love, light, and blessings. And please remember, healing begins where the ego ends. Take care.